Hey guys, I'm here with another Saturday Stash Dive, and this time I paired up with Patty Sandberg, and we decided to create our own backgrounds. So what you see me doing here is taking a T-square ruler and basically just sectioning off a part of the paper so that I can do some stamping here in a second. And I'm not gonna lie, I definitely struggled with this layout a bit, and it was touch and go at points, so just bear with me. I do like the end result, but it was a journey getting there. So what you're seeing now is a stamp set from Cut and Paste from My Mind's Eye, which is an older collection. And I'm taking these frames out of here at my Versamark, and I am just stamping them on that left side of paper. So I had to kind of get creative because of my lighting. I can't see the Versamark very well on the white paper, so I had to take my like the light on my phone and kind of hold it at an angle so I could see where I stamped, so that I wasn't stamping over where I had already stamped. So yeah, and excuse my head also. So now I'm going to take the smaller one, and I'm just going to kind of fill in a bit with the frames, and again with the light. So what I'm going to do now is peel off this that piece of paper that I was just had like kind of masking off the other part, and I'm going to take clear embossing powder, and I'm going to pour it over the Versamark, stamping the frames, and I kind of made a mess in the process, and I hate feeling those like grainies on my workspace. So I just wipe that up quick, and just making sure it looks good before I heat emboss it. And I think there was like one corner that kind of got wiped off a little bit, or shook off, however. So I just put a little bit more embossing put on it, and that's just detail embossing powder, because it is just that light. You can see it's just the outline of the frame. And now I am going to heat emboss them. So I have this Tim Holtz Heat It tool, and then I also have a regular heat gun. And I like this one because it's really quiet, and it will emboss, as you can see. It does take a little bit longer than a normal one, but it is a lot quieter, and I usually leave this one plugged up more than my other one. So. So now what I'm going to do is take out some distress markers, and I'm using Picked Raspberry, Evergreen Bow, Spiced Marmalade, I think, and Black Soot. And I'm going to take that piece of paper again and block that part off again. Using my T-square ruler, making sure it's straight, and I just placed a paper towel under there because I'm going to do a little bit of spritzing with the marker spritzer. Which if you've watched my videos, I love using this tool. I've used it quite a few times on some layouts. So I'm starting with the Picked Raspberry, and I'm just going around the outline of the frames. And just so the frames will pop out, the embossing will resist. And so, just until the frames pop out. And now I'm taking the Spiced Marmalade, and I'm doing that color, and I'm kind of doing it, in sections. So now I'm going to take out the orange marmalade, and I'm going to do the Evergreen Bow. And then after this, I am going to finish off with the Black Soot, and I'm sorry the bottom part is off frame a bit, but yeah, it's just more of the same with the Black Soot there. which I was having a hard time getting that one to spritz. So when the camera kind of went off, because I only can record 20 minutes at a time on my camera, so it'll stop recording eventually. Um, Before I restarted it, I just finished that black because it was taking forever. So now I'm taking a baby wipe and I'm trying to just wipe the ink off that resist, which also kind of activates the distress inks, which is cool. But I'm like sitting there rubbing away, forgetting that this is a baby wipe and regular paper, and it started to pill a little bit on the black. But I'm gonna fix that at the end. I'm gonna end up covering it up, so I'm not too worried about it now. But as you can see, those frames kind of just pop up. So here's where I decided to, well, I knew I wanted to do this technique, but I grabbed my regular iron and I'm going to do the iron off embossing technique so that those frames are actually not shiny. They become matte again. It removes the embossing powder and it, is smooth and it looks like it was just part of the paper. And I wanted to do this technique because I have done it on cards before, but I thought it would be cool to kind of incorporate it, on a layout. And so what you do basically is I'm just taking like typing paper and you set your iron to, like, I have mine at a cotton setting with no steam, and you place the typing paper over and you just run your iron over it and pick up your paper, and it will be transferred onto the typing paper. Now you might need to go over a few areas several times, and you want to use a clean sheet each time so that you don't retransfer embossing powder anywhere, like onto your project or even back onto your iron. So you do want to use like a clean sheet or a clean area of a sheet each time. But it's really cool. It becomes completely smooth. There's no raised embossing, and it is also a matte finish where, as you know, with embossing powder, you get like that shiny finish. So that is my creating your own background portion of the layout. And I liked how it came out. At this point, I wasn't in love with it, especially because I kind of, botched that black soot area down there. But I am going to fix that, and I am determined to love this layout at this point. So I'm just going to grab a few papers. I'm going to use this +1 collection by Amy Tan, and I'm just picking out coordinating papers. That's actually, I knew I wanted to use that collection, and so that is what made me choose the distress markers in the first place. So yeah, so I'm just going to mat these pictures on a couple layers of paper, and I wasn't sure yet where I wanted to place the picture at this point, and so I'm thinking it was going to go further down on that line, but I didn't like that harsh line, so I took the swatchy tape, which is like a black hash, it has like a, I don't know what you call that, like a, I don't know what you call that, but it's a black with kind of like a material look to it, and then it says love on it. So I thought about putting that greenish bluish color under the pink mat, but then I decided against it. I figured that was enough. And I think at this point is when I decided I was going to do one of those layouts where I think people have been doing them a lot with rainbow colors. But I decided I wanted to do it here where you kind of match the embellishments to the, to the color in that section. So I'm just using some of the cut aparts from the cut apart sheets, and I'm going to cut out I think a little tiny, one of these little tiny cards for each color. So I'm starting with that love there, and then I'm going to use this My Happy Place, the arrow, and now I'm looking for an orange one, and I settle on one that says, it's like a journaling card. There we go. And then the pink one, I believe, is going to be a camera. Yes. And this is just a casual picture of my girls. Um, I think I both, they have curly hair naturally, so I think I blowed both of their hair out and put it up in pigtails, and we painted nails that day, and so they were sitting on the chair, loving their, straight hair and their pink nails, and just loving each other. So I snapped a shot because these days that is a rare sight. So. So I'm just taking the coordinating distress inks and just inking around the edges, and I am going to mat all of these little cards on some vellum. Now this vellum is actually not the best quality, and I have a huge package of it. I think like a pack of 50 that I picked up from Joann's. It's very, very lightweight, and so I don't use it for too much, but for like something like this, it's perfect. So to get it used up. But yeah, that little bit of vellum, I think just helps kind of define those cards a bit more, help them stand out a little bit more, um, because I am doing kind of like a tone on tone, and so, it just helps the cards stand out a little bit from the background since they're the same color. And so now I've moved the picture up on that line, that divider line, and I like it better up there. And so I just went through some embellishments that I have, and I'm going to pick some out. That chipboard sticker with the glare on it is an Amy Tan from Cut and Paste, and it says The Love List. And then that camera is Me and My Big Ideas sticker. And so I'm really just going through and I'm picking out embellishments that match that color. So this is a chipboard from Cut and Paste, and I'm going to use those glasses, which glasses have nothing to do with this layout, but I just thought it looked cute down there, so I wanted to use them. And then those quotation marks. And now I'm looking through the Amy Tan Yes Please sticker book, and they have like this watercolor arrow chevron sticker, and it has orange and pink in it, so I kind of placed that where those two merge together, and it's perfect because it's pointing at my daughter's head, so it kind of draws the eye in that direction. And I thought about using one of those bows, but in the end I don't. So I kind of put the bigger embellishments out, and I'm going to start gluing everything down, and then I'll go back with the rest of that little pile that I have there on the right and kind of fill in with the smaller ones. So I'm just going to grab my Scotch Quick Dry here and glue down these embellishments because I have taken the sticky off the back of them with my embossing big thingy right there at the bottom left. Just so I could move around because I wasn't for sure where I wanted everything to be. And so I'm just going to go and stick everything down now. And I did overlap the date portion of that journaling card with that chipboard that says The Love List. And I'm going to do my journaling on there. And so I decided to stick my picture down now that that arrow is overlapping the left part of it, and put the camera down. So now I can go in with these smaller embellishments. These are some more Amy Tan. They're like clear stickers, and that one says Truly Awesome in pink. And so yeah, I'm just going to keep going through these little embellishments and trying to fit them in with a color category and make it work. That one says what I did today. And now I'm going to take some enamel dots in coordinating colors. So I believe these are from Teresa Collins, those orange ones. And I'm going to use these Recollections ones, which were a dead-on match for that greenish bluish color down there. So I put those down, and they went flying everywhere. And now I am going to use some, I believe, yeah, the Teresa Collins ones again, the black ones off of that little sheet. And so I couldn't find a pink enamel dot that matched that pink up there. And so I'm going to take a Copic, I believe it's RV7 or RV17, and I'm just going to take some white enamel dots from my mind's eye, and I'm just going to color the sizes that I want with that Copic, and then I'll have enamel dots in the color that I need. So you kind of have to do a couple coats and let it dry in between a bit. So while that is drying, I believe I went off to go get some thickers. Oh, not yet. Still looking through stuff. Too much stuff to look through. So this is a Studio Calico Flare badge, and it just has a paper clip on it, and it was orange, and so I thought it would be cute next to, you know, the Love List chipboard. And so I'm doing a second coat on these enamel dots with that Copic, and that looked good to me. So I'm gonna, yeah. Now I set them aside to dry for a bit, and I'm gonna stick those on. There we go. I thought those looked cute. They made a nice little addition and added some texture and dimension. So now these are some Heidi Swapp banners, and I have this black scallop one that I wanted to use because that's all I had left of it from a different project. And so I decided to put it down there and kind of throw my title, which is just really simple. It's just going to be My Girls. And so I'm spelling that out with these stickers that I love. They're in the font Journal, and they are a black foam glitter thicker, and I just love them. So I haven't used them in a while because I think subconsciously I'm hoarding them. So it wasn't, hang on 1 second. I don't even know how to pause these. Okay, sorry about that. So yes, back to the title. So I did place a piece of washi tape under that scallop border just so those letters could pop a little bit more. And so it's simply just My Girls. And I'm going to take this stamp set again, and I'm just going to use this little like doodly heart that's in there, and I'm going to use some black archival ink, which is actually the Heidi Swapp one, but it is archival. Archival ink by Ranger, and I just stamped that little heart just so there was something down there with that. I didn't want that side to be embellishment heavy though, because obviously the other side is. So now for my journaling, I am actually going to create a love list. So I'm just naming like the 3 little things that I love about this picture, and then I'm gonna just throw their names and ages in the picture there because I didn't know the exact date of this photo, and so it still was looking a little bland to me on that side, and I wanted it to be a little bit more defined, so I just am going to do some stitch lines over here with my Pitt pen, and I think that looks a lot better, a lot more finished on that side. So there we go. I'm going to do some close-ups so you can see the embellishments, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.